Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Van Chan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you. Chap. 32 sec. One of Jane Eyre, an autobiography.
Ass.
Ah.
Jane Eyre, an autobiography. Charlotte Brontë. Chap. 32 sec. 1. I continued the labours of the village school as actively and faithfully as I could. It was truly hard work at first. Some time elapsed before, with all my efforts, I could comprehend my scholars and their nature. Wholly untaught, with faculties quite torpid, they seemed to me hopelessly dull. And then, at first sight, all dull alike, but I soon found I was mistaken. There was a difference amongst them as amongst the educated, and when I got to know them, and they me, this difference rapidly developed itself. Their amazement at me, my language, my rules, and ways, once subsided, I found some of these heavy looking, keeping rest to wake up into sharp-witted goals enough. Many showed themselves obliging, and amiable too, and I discovered amongst them not a few examples of natural politeness and innate self-respect, as well as of excellent capacity, that won both my goodwill and my admiration. These soon took a pleasure in doing their work well, in keeping their persons neat, in learning their tasks regularly, in acquiring quiet and orderly manners. The rapidity of their progress, in some instances, was even surprising, and an honest and happy pride I took in it. Besides, I began personally to like some of the best girls, and they liked me. I had amongst my scholars several farmers' daughters, young and grown, almost. These could already read, write, and sew, and to them I taught the elements of grammar, geography, history, and the finer kinds of needlework. Passed many a pleasant evening hour in their own homes. Their parents, then the farmer and his wife, loaded me with attentions. There was an enjoyment in accepting their simple kindness. Not the perhaps at all times accustomed, and which both charmed and benefited them, because, while it elevated them in their own eyes, it made them emulate to merit the differential treatment they received. I felt I became a favourite in the neighbourhood. Wherever I went out, I heard on all sides cordial salutations. I was welcomed with friendly smiles, to live amidst general regard, though it be but the regard of working people, is like sitting in sunshine, calm and sweet, serene inward feelings bud and bloom under the rain. At this period of my life, my heart far oftener swelled with thankfulness than sank with dejection. And yet, reader, to tell you all, in the midst of this calm, this useful existency after a day passed in honourable exertion amongst my scholars, a night, dreams many coloured, agitated, full of the ideal, the stirring, the dreams were, amidst unusual scenes, charged with adventure, with agitating risk and romantic chance. I still again and again met Mr. Worcester, always at some exciting crisis. And then the sense of being in his arms, hearing his voice, meeting his eye, touching his hand in cheek, loving him, being loved by him, hope of passing a lifetime at his side, would be renewed, with all its first force and fire. Then I awoke. Then I recalled where I was, and how situated. Then I rose up on my curtainless bed, trembling and quivering, and then the still, dark night witnessed the convulsion of despair, and heard the burst of passion. By 9 o'clock the next morning I was punctually opening the school, tranquil, settled, prepared for the steady duties of the day. Rossam and Oliver kept her word in coming to visit me. Her call at the school was generally made in the course of her morning ride. She would canter up to the door on her pony, followed by a mounted livery servant. Anything more exquisite than her appearance, in her purple habit, her cheek and floated to her shoulders, can scarcely be imagined. And it was this she would enter the rustic building, and glide through the dazzled ranks of the village children. She generally came at the hour when Mr. Rivers was engaged in giving his daily catechism lesson. Mainly, I fear, did the eye of the visitors pierce the young pastor's heart. A sort of instinct seemed to warn him of her entrance, even when he did not see it, and when he was looking quite away from the door. If she appeared at it, his cheek would glow, and his marble-seeming features, though they refused to relax, changed indescribably, and in their very cousins became expressive of a repressed fervour, stronger than working muscle or darting glass would indicate. Of course, she knew her power. Indeed, he did not, because he could not conceal it from her, in spite of his Christian stoicism. When she went up and addressed him, and smiled gaily, encouragingly, even fondly in his face, his hand would tremble and his eye burn. He seemed to say, with his sad and resolute look, if he did not say it with his lips, I love you, and I know you prefer me. It is not despair of success that keeps me dim. If I offered my heart, I believe you would accept it. But that heart is already laid on a sacred altar. The fire is arranged round it. And then she would pout like a disappointed child. A pensive cloud would soften her radiant vivacity. She would withdraw her hand hastily from his, and turn in trance in petulance from his aspect, at once so heroic and so much alike. Straight down, no doubt, would have governed the world to follow, recall, retain her, when she thus left him. But he would not give one chance of heaven, nor relinquish, for the illusion of her love, one hope of the true, eternal paradise. Besides, he could not bind all that he had in his natchez through her. The aspirant. The poet. The priest in the limits of a single passion. The peace of Eyre Hall. I learned so much from himself in an Imroda once, despite his reserve. To be continued.